Hey guys, it's Barrett with the Camping Camper. Today I'm going to tell you something great about the RV Armor roof. Did you know that if you have an RV Armor roof with a lifetime warranty, that you can still add things to your roof without having to get RV Armor to come out and do it? That's just crazy to me. I really like that idea and I wanted to share it with you because I did it for the first time. Hey guys, real quick before we get started, I do want to say that I do have an affiliate link with RV Armor. Essentially, it's going to give you $100 off, I believe, and it's going to give me a little bit of a referral. I've actually gotten one of those referral fees now, and so it helps the channel out a lot. But I did pay for this. I got it at a discounted rate, but I did pay quite a bit of money for the roof, and I am happy with the product, and I continue to support it. So if you're interested, you can look down in the link here, and I'll put it on the screen too for the link to give them at RV Armor if you want to make an order. I will say that it does take a while sometimes for them to schedule it and get somebody out to you because they actually send somebody to your house to put the product on. So just kind of bear with them because in this day and time, it's hard to get employees for any profession right now. And they're trying to coordinate moving people all around the country. And so they're doing the best that they can. But thanks guys, and like I say, if you're interested, just look at the link down below. Did you know that if you have an RV Armor roof with a lifetime warranty, that you can still add things to your roof without having to get RV Armor to come out and do it? That's just crazy to me. You don't even have to call and get pre-authorization. You just have to use their products, and you need to send them a picture after you're done just to show them what you did. Everything that you need to add something to the roof is going to be in your emergency kit that you get from RV Armor whenever they do your initial roof install, but you're going to want to get another kit so you got one to back up. Now this allows you to add solar panels, TV antenna, cell boosters, and in our case, a cellular router antenna. So we got the Insty Connect. I'm going to have a whole nother video just showing you about that system. I'm going to put the link up here. Be sure to check that out. It's a great system for always on internet, and I've been really happy with it so far. Unfortunately, if you have to remove anything from the roof, you do have to have a service call because that's a little bit more in depth. They don't allow you to remove things from the roof, which for this reason, I still have just a regular vent in my bedroom. I wish I would have put a maxxair vent in there when I put my other two maxxair vents in, but it's really not that big of a deal. And so I've just kind of let it slide at that because when I turn the other one on in the living room, it will pull air through the bedroom with no issues. And so it really does work pretty well anyway. I'm just telling you guys this because if you want to do any upgrades like that, you probably want to try to do everything that you can before you get the RV Armor roof. And that's when I put my two maxxair fans in and my solar panels on, was right before that I got the roof. That way it was already on there, and we was kind of starting with everything that I had currently imagined that we would need. So let's start by talking about the overall condition of the roof after a couple of years and my feelings about how it's going and how I like it now. I've had some cracking in a couple of worn areas, mainly around the cables on my roof. Overall, I'm still very happy with it. I reached out to them. They said to use my emergency kit to repair it, and we would order a new one. That way I'd have an emergency kit if I needed. Now remember, even if there's a small crack in the roof, in order for it to fail, it's got to get through every layer of the RV Armor roofing. There's 2 layers of roofing. There's a layer of epoxy under that. There's the TPO under that. So in order for the water to penetrate into your camper, it's got to go through a lot of stuff. So I did send RV Armor some pictures of the areas that I had some concerns about, and they did offer to have somebody come out and fix it for me, or they gave me the option to fix it myself with just painting the material over it mainly. And so we'll talk about some nuances to that. But I was like, well, I'll just do it myself. As long as you're still going to cover it under warranty, I'll send you pictures of everything that I do. And that way I don't have to wait on anybody to come out here and I can just get it taken care of. So remember, they do a lifetime warranty and don't force you to come in for re-inspections, and don't even force you to get up on your roof and look at it. Now, I would personally recommend that you get up there and look at it at least once a year, make sure there's no issues that you could catch early, but you don't have to for their warranty to cover it. Also, I would suggest washing it at least yearly. I wash mine about once a year. All they want you to use for that is just some Dawn dish soap, just soap and water. It's all you need. Doesn't hurt the material at all. You just clean it off. I use a soft scrub brush with a pole on it to get it completely clean, because you want it to be clean whenever you put new layers of stuff on. So it's got a good bonding surface. Does that make sense? Now let's talk about that emergency kit for a second. There's 3 separate components there. There is a fabric type patch that comes in the box, as well as a can of roof coating and a can of their flashing product. They also had sent me an extra tube of some caulk sealant to use in some areas where I had some cracking for a little bit of extra protection. My kit was actually the wrong color. It was white where my roof's tan, and I'd already been into one kit before, and so they'd sent me one. It was the wrong color. I actually like this because that means I can go through and I can put a coat of all the areas where I have issues. I can see exactly where that is, and that's the way they do it when they put the roof on initially. They use a different color for coat 1 than coat 2. That way you can be sure you get good coating on there. So I personally liked it. They sent me a tan color so I could go over it with that, but I put 2 coats of the white on first in order to have great protection in the meantime. Now I also want to say that a lot of places where I put the coating on here that I'm going to show you some pictures of, it was very minimal if there was even an issue. But it's one of those things that if you got the can open, if you see the tiniest little scratch, common sense says you're going to get a little bit and you're going to cover it up, right? So I have a lot of areas on there, but there are only like 5 or 6 areas that I was actually concerned about. So a lot of these spots were just minuscule details that you really, I wouldn't have opened a can to put on there, let's put it that way. I did have some wear along where my Halo View Dominator cable runs along the top of my camper from the back to the transmitter in the front. And I believe that I just needed a couple of more areas to hold that cable down so that it's not flapping so much in the wind. It is really worn out on the front side of that, but all I'm going to do is, after I got done with that, I used some of their flashing material, which is what they use to hold cables down with, and I added some about every 18 inches or so, because it was every 2 to 3 feet to start with, and so I have a lot more attachment points, so it's not going to be flying around as much, and I don't think I'll have any more issues out of it. But in order to do that, I did pull that cable over as far as I could between the attachment points, and I put down a few coats of material, the roofing material, down under where that was, where the rubber was starting to wear off a little bit, give it some brand new rubber on there. So I did 2 coats of that, and then I did a coat of the tan, and then I put the cable in the middle over the top of it and put some of the flashing down to hold it down. Now when it came to adding a cable entry housing for the antenna mount for my Angel Cloud Wings antenna for my Insty Connect, I just put some roofing material directly down on the roof, and then I put the cable housing down, and I just painted around the top of it so that it was going to be watertight. I did repeat this, everything that I painted, I did repeat at least twice with 2 more coats, another coat of white and the tan color. Now as far as the Insty Connect antenna, what I did with that is I put some roofing material down, just wet on top of the roof. I set the antenna pole mount down on top of it, and then I added some material in the screw holes there, screwed down to push that roofing material down into that screw, and then I painted over the entire lip and all of the screws for that antenna, virtually causing it to be waterproof now. And again, I painted over it with 2 more coats on 2 separate days. Now after all that dried, the next day I went out with a caulking gun that I had some caulk that they sent me for an area that was cracked on the edge of my camper, and I tried to fill that in as much as possible with the caulk. Now I will say that I went out there the day after that, and the caulk didn't seem to cover everything real well, so they told me to use some of their flashing material, which is virtually the same as the roofing material, only the flashing is a lot more thick, and so it doesn't level out as much, it doesn't run as much. And so I put some of that flashing over that crack, and it is nowhere to be seen anymore. So I did go over the flashing the next day with some regular roofing material and have at least 2 more coats on top of that, because I'm telling you, I put 3 coats on everything that I did. So I got everything coated with the white. I got 2 coats of the white, and then life got in the way. I had to go to Michigan on a trip. It took weeks after some work and stuff that I could get back to it. And so I wanted to make sure that everything adhered well with the tan color that I had. So I went out and I washed the roof again with some Dawn dish soap, got everything cleaned off, and that way the tan color would stick down better. Went over everything with the tan color that was white previously, so that way under the cables and stuff, before I had went and finished those, I went through with the tan so it would match in color. And then I went through the next day and I added the flashing down to the cable like we talked about already. So I think that these 3 additional coats in these areas that were a little bit stubborn are going to be all that it takes to keep those from degrading for a long time. Like I say, I still have that lifetime warranty. It's still there. I'm still happy with the company, and I still think that it's a good product, and I still recommend it.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.